So I'm going to pull up the comments on a different tab here. All right, I am there. We are live, and we currently have 3 thumbs up.
All right.
And I don't think anybody's on there. How do you know? Oh, 2 people. I wonder if it's us, So we'll wait a little bit till people jump on.
Cool.
So for those 2 people that are watching us, we appreciate that you guys are jumping on. We just wanted to do a quick little live stream to interview my man, Chris, aka Thrift Beast CQ. So been flipping hard good says, here you find. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Glad that you're here at the live stream. Everything going good? How are your sales this week, my friend? Can you see? Well, I guess I'll click on that so you can see the comment, Chris.
Okay.
You see that right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. I forget that you can't see the actual comments that are coming through. So the Titans are fixing to come on the TV, so that's always good. I got my you see that?
Oh, you got a Bitcoin shirt. Nice.
Yeah, man. Did you see the video where they gave her the check for her charity?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. All right, we got Scott. Scott McFarland is on. Hey, Scott, how you doing? Glad to see you. Scott was one of the resellers that I met this weekend at the Nashville meetup. So, all right. So let's wait. What time is it here? Let's wait till 7:05, and then we'll get the interview started.
Cool.
Just so I have 10 questions, Chris. So hopefully you can answer all 10 questions.
I'm ready.
I know Dustin is supposed to jump on too, so he'll be asking questions through the live. Scott, did you get home safe yesterday? Everything all right?
So how many people were at that meetup?
It was a few. How many would you say, Scott? Like 50? It was all kinds of. Yeah, there was. It was. Do you know Bearded Picker?
Yes, I've heard of him.
He was one of the guys that kind of like, found kind of put things together, and him and Philip Lewis and a couple other. Tennessee Picker was there, and just a couple other ones. But really great. Everyone was really nice. It was awesome. I met, Barry. I can't remember Barry's last name, but his Thrifty Santa is his Instagram name.
Really?
And he plays as Santa Claus during the holiday season. So all right. Let's say Scott McFarland says, any big scores yesterday? Give me 5. I did manage to find one thing that was a big score. It was like a something to clear the baby's like nostrils. It was like this. I don't know, something to clean the nostrils for a baby. It was like $100. So
wow.
Yeah. So Ford Hustler is in the chat. How you doing, Ford Hustler? I appreciate you being here. He says he's on the freeway.
Oh boy.
So be careful. Make sure you look at the road and not your phone. So be careful with that. Scott says about 40 Friday night. Got sick. Couldn't meet up Saturday. Oh yeah, that's right. You doing all right? You doing better, Scott? Glad you're doing better there. So, all right, it is 7:04. So we'll go ahead and get the interview started. If you just want to do a quick little introduction, Chris, tell us who you are, your origin story. If you got bit by a spider and you have some sort of superpowers that we don't know about, if you just let us know, that would be fantastic.
Absolutely. Well, it did actually start with that.
There you go.
Spider. But my name is Chris. I am a reseller, part-time reseller up in Toronto, Canada. So it's a different ball game up here, but yeah, I do still have a full-time job. I do this about 4 days in the week. The rest of the days I'm being a dad. spending time with family, and then yeah, I probably try to, like, if I'm not doing this, I'm probably just using whatever uh, time I have just to really spend time with family. And yeah, it's been fun because a lot of the time when you're doing other side hustles like Uber or like I used to do Uber and Uber Eats and like that. This one allows me to stay home. So if I do need to take care of my daughter, it's been pretty helpful.
That's fantastic. I love that. So yeah, that was. I'm glad you did the introduction, Chris. So the second question of the day is, how did you get started reselling slash flipping? How
Okay.
did you get started, my friend?
Okay. So I probably first off, I started like looking into like just doing garage sales, and when I started like I had family that actually did the garage sales, and I pretty much hosted most of them. So having the ability to just negotiate through these processes, like through the pricing and everything, it just wanted me to get into more of these types of sales. And then that's when I got into like watching YouTube videos and things like Gary V. So when I watched Gary V, I watched all the trash talk videos, and that just let me learn a lot more about flipping. And I also saw Ray the entrepreneur as well, and that let me just learn more about what I could sell. And then from there, probably within, I don't know, a couple weeks, I decided to go for it and just started to try selling on eBay.
That's great. That's great. Now you say that you got started with garage sales. Like, what made you want to go to the garage sales? Did you go to the garage sales just to see what you can find for yourself, or did you go there just to see what you can buy and resell?
It was mainly for me first, but then having the ability to just talk them down to try to get a cheaper price, uh,
Mhm.
just it just helped me like start the fire with like just trying to make a good deal.
You
Uh,
like the I always enjoy the thrill of the hunt, and then like you said, the negotiation.
oh no, okay. So after I just learned more about um, like flipping and stuff, that's when I more appreciated the hunt a lot more.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But so you started with garage sales, right?
Mhm.
Garage sales, and then you started seeing other people online making money. You know, you saw those Gary V. You know, telling everybody to go out, find stuff to flip on eBay.
Mhm.
So is that where you really got your juices going, got them boiling? You know, all that good stuff, or was it something different?
No, it was that
Okay.
because of the potential that he he mentioned that you can make. Like you just got to put the work into it though, and I just went balls to the walls on it. Uh, I didn't want to stop and like fail on this effort to even try to resell because for me it was motivation for me to like to make money but also stay at home too.
Yeah. So that kind of leads me to segue into kind of the same question but different. The question is, how did just told us how you got how you got started reselling, and why is that you got started reselling? What was the reason? You know, because some people, you said you have to put in the work. You know, some people might think that it's too hard. What
Yeah,
am I doing this? You know, it's taking up a lot of my time. You
yeah.
know, what was the reason that you wanted to do this?
It was probably staying at home to spend time, be there for my family when I need them or when they needed me. And but it I could see a lot of potential in how much I could potentially grow something like this.
It's great. I love that. So I'm glad that you want to do it because you want to stay home for your family. And did you do? You said you did Uber, and what was the other thing that you did?
I did Uber Eats as well as
Uber
Instacart
Eats.
as well.
Okay. Now, did you do that before you wanted to start reselling, or did you kind of like, you had an idea that it's like, I want to start making more money for my family. These are some of my options, and you just kind of like started dabbing and into all the different avenues that you can use to make money on the side.
So I dabbled in them last year. I gave it a try, and to be honest, it was a lot of work, a lot of running involved, um, and a lot of the things too was that it took a toll on my car too. Like I didn't realize how much like kilometers and gas you're gonna use up
Yeah.
doing all that, and you don't realize that you're aging your car pretty quickly.
Oh, for sure.
And like I'm using it as a family car, right, as well. So I just didn't want to put that much on my car too.
Yeah, people don't think about the right now in society we want the quick thing. They don't think about things going down the road. It's like you may be doing Uber right now, and you're making, let's say, $50 a night, but what is it doing to your vehicle down the road? Like, are you saving part of that money for maintenance on your car down the road, or what are you doing?
Yeah,
so people always have to think about that. With any kind of business.
Yeah, I had no choice to, because I didn't want to take any chances.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a smart move, man. So let's check in on the chat right quick. We have 4-eyed hustler saying, "I got 4 eyes, 2 on you guys, and 2 on the road." So that's pretty funny. And then we have our friend, excuse me if I'm mispronouncing your name, Sorrento. Howdy, y'all. How's everyone doing?
You call him Brian.
Brian? Is his name Brian?
Okay. His name is Brian.
How's it going, Brian? Good to see you, man. Glad you're here. So, yeah, so we know that you like to resell there, Chris. So do you have a certain niche that you like to resell, certain things that you like to look for? Like, what is it that you resell? Just like anything that you can make money on, or?
For me, I really I started off with a lot of the things that I had in my house. So I started off by starting off a lot of my video games. Mm-hmm. So I think that was something that I was really aware of. Just understanding video games, which ones are popular. So if I went to a thrift store and I wanted to check out different video games, I can tell which ones were garbage or were pretty good ones. So I started looking at those ones first. Then I stood more. Then I went towards electronics too.
Yeah,
I felt that electronics they had a pretty good sell rate, and I just know a lot more. Like, I love electronics in general. So
yeah, I think that goes with anybody, like any kid our age that just kind of grew up during the I would like to say the technology boom. Like I'm 32. I don't know how old you are, Chris. What is it?
34.
34. So
yeah.
I remember pre-internet and post-internet. You know what I mean? So it's like you remember like not having internet and then having internet. And just, I remember having a flip phone and then having an iPhone. You know what I mean? So it's like you remember like all the technology. We've got to see so much technology just in our lifetime, and just growing up playing video games, not like how our parents grew up playing video games like we did. So yeah, that's great that, just like I got started, just flipping things around the house, things that, didn't use or anything like that. I think for anybody, that's a really good way to start. Bless you. So, so let's check in with the chat. We got our good friends, Thrift Store Gold. What's up, guys? What's up, Mark, Christina, and Finn? We appreciate you guys. We were just talking about the your live stream and how I think his name was Brandon. Is that right? Do you know? The person that they were interviewing had an amazing collection of
that was the greatest haul
of video games. I've never seen so many rare sealed games in one place.
Yeah.
Enough that he can probably open up his own vintage video game store, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Put it down on a house with that.
Yeah, exactly. So you said Brian, right? Brian, he says, I'm doing well, enjoying the interview so far. I appreciate Brian. Make sure you guys smash that like button, guys, and make sure to subscribe to Chris's channel if you haven't already done so. So just go I'll put the link to his channel in the comments, so you guys make sure to subscribe to his channel. Floyd Hustler says yes, his name was Brandon. So yeah, Brandon was really amazing. We appreciate all that good knowledge and all that. I've never seen so many rare vintage video games in one spot, but it's not, a store. So I'm just finding your link here, Chris, so we can post it on the comments.
Thank you, sir.
So yeah, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to Chris's channel, make sure you do so. He's got great content. Which which reminds me. So the last video that Chris had on his YouTube channel. Do you do a lot of consignment, Chris, or just that special occasion on your last channel too, where you happened to stumble across a family that was getting rid of their stuff, and you said they were consigning their stuff to you, right? And you were taking 40%. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was gonna take 40%. Yeah, it's really specific. I don't generally do consignments anymore, just because there wasn't enough money for me to make in the consignments.
Yeah.
So because I know potentially how much this consignment can make, that's the only reason why I was willing to do it. And I know that it's not often that you would get these old vintage wrestlers in really good condition.
No, they were in fantastic condition. I know that, like you said, the Junkyard Dog, the chain, the chain and, different accessories for those figures, those alone bring a lot of money just for those accessories.
Yeah. Like adding a belt to the wrestler probably adds another $20-$30.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I mean, like I said, man, if you want to sell them to me in a lot, maybe we can talk some numbers. I collect, the Hasbro ones. They kind of look like this. I actually just picked up, they made the newer. They're starting to make the new wrestlers in this design. So I picked up Kurt Angle, and I picked up. See that? Chris Jericho.
Nice.
I got it on clearance at Walmart for $250.
Oh,
so I actually got I got two of each. So I'm gonna flip two and keep two.
There you go.
Yeah. So that was really good. Are you familiar with the? I know we're getting a little bit off topic here, but are you familiar with the hidden clearance prices at Walmart?
I just became accustomed to knowing about these probably within the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
I know that I stumbled across a video on YouTube about hidden clearance prices, going around and scanning everything with the Walmart app, and I actually found several things that were mispriced. Some of them being video games.
Really?
Not just clearance video games, but actually full price video games. They were, mispriced. So not enough to make money off of them, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we may do a video doing that sometime. Maybe it'll be fun. So yeah. So let's check in with the chat right quick. We got Brian. He says, "What is the best purchase and flip on an item for both Chris and the Nashville Filters ever made?" That actually is a great segue there, Brian, because my next question was, what is your biggest flip?
It was actually just recently. I had a set of Oakleys I found at the thrift store for, I think it was $29. And I ended up selling it for, I had it at around 300, and someone made an offer for $260.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's great.
So
that's a pretty big flip. And you paid how much did you buy it for at the thrift store?
Like $29.
$29. So yeah, that's great. That's a pretty good flip. I know. Hopefully, you'll make some pretty good money off of those wrestlers and those boxed video game consoles that you got. on his last on your last video.
Oh yeah.
So let's check in with the chat real quick. DIY Packaging Idea says, "Hey everybody, how's it going? Good to see you. Glad you're in this awesome live stream with our friend Chris. We have Z Link. I hope I'm saying that right. Z Link is saying, "Sup, Chris? Do you know Z Link, Chris?"
Yes, I do. He's one of my friends, and I invited him to come by. And
fantastic. Well, we appreciate you being here. Does the Z stand for Zach, Zeke?
I believe the Z is or Zed.
Zed.
Is part of it. I think his last name starts with a Z.
Oh, okay, cool. So we'll call him Zed for the purposes of this video.
Yeah.
So back to Brian's question. Now, Brian, my biggest flip was actually some things that we found at Give Me Five. Dustin and I found. Dustin's actually at home. Hope he jumps on this live stream pretty soon. But we found these outlet baby monitors. We have a video. It's kind of like one of our first videos that we did. Is that if you're not familiar with the Give Me Five store that we go to, it's kind of like some Amazon and just returns that are in bins, and you just go in there and you kind of dig through the bins when they do the restock. So we found these baby monitors. It's like a sock that you put on a baby, and it hooks up to your smartphone, and then from there it tells you the heartbeat and blood pressure and all that good stuff. But I managed to find 6 of those.
Wow.
6 of them. I paid $5 a piece, and I sold them. I sold one there to a pregnant lady for $100.
Oh my gosh!
And I didn't even have to buy it. It was
That's
just
great.
like I found it, and she wanted it, so I sold it for her for $100. And then the rest I sold for $200.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so sold the rest of them for $200. So yeah, so let's get back to the chat right quick. Let's see here. Goti Boys 14 says, "Where is a good place to thrift in Canada, Chris?"
All right, so there's a bunch of places you can go to. There's Value Village. That's the main one. There's so many locations of Value Village everywhere. That's probably the staple for getting thrifted items. For clothing specifically, I'm gonna say National Thrift. If you're in Ontario specifically, that's one of the best places. You get a decent price for clothing compared to like a Value Village. Value Village is ridiculous prices unless they had a sale. So the prices in National Thrift are pretty reasonable. For hard goods, it's probably Value Village. Also, there's a place called Treasure Hunt as well, and there's one in I think Burlington, Ontario, and they have returned items. They sell returned items from different stores. So maybe like toys I generally see. It's not in the best condition, but they're there. It's an option as well. So in terms of stores themselves, those are probably the top ones that I would say. Not so much the Treasure Hunt place, but Value Village, like Goodwill too. We have Goodwill, Salvation Army. Those are generally okay. It's not the best in terms of what they have, and also sometimes they don't have their things priced properly. I've seen a used Xbox there go for over $150, the original Xbox, and it was in garbage condition. But those are a couple of places I would say go to. My go-tos are Value Village and National Thrift, just because of what I normally sell.
That's great. Which one is it that you found all the bagged games on your last video? Value Village?
Yeah.
I wish we had a thrift store like that to where they sell like things in lots.
Yeah.
And I think there might be Savers. I think we don't have a Savers, but I think there's a Savers kind of does the same similar thing, which in the States. So I think I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if anybody's been to Savers on the chat or in the video. Let me know, guys, just so to make sure. But Goti Boy says, "P.S. I know him personally. Tell him NWO is for life. Too sweet. Yeah. Justin and I were just talking about the other day. It's like which sting was better, the NWO sting or the Wolfpack sting? And I think we decided that we like the Wolfpack sting better, but we do like just because of the face paint. We like the black and red face paint.
Yeah.
So yeah, NWO for life. I think we might have to make a Nashville Flippers NWO T-shirt. I think it would be like
so sick.
Like FWO, like Flipper World Order or something like that.
That'd be so sick.
So yeah,
I guarantee you that would be a sick shirt.
Yeah. We'll get you one if we do for sure. We'll send you one. So Ford Hustler says, "Did you sell the $5 item yet from the challenge?" I don't know if he's asking me or if he's asking you, Chris. I know. Yeah,
because I know you sold yours already.
So Dustin sold his.
Yeah.
And Dustin and I actually filmed a video today. Yeah. We filmed our first What Sold in August video. So we just picked up some of this, we just highlighted some of the stuff that we sold. And one of the things that I sold, I think a couple days after I made the $5 challenge video, my thing sold. Like it was like the 3rd or 4th of August it sold. But yeah. So did you sell yours?
Surprisingly, yesterday I had an offer on it.
And, on the Robert Graham shirt, right? It was a Robert Graham shirt.
So I still had it up for I think it was like $34. I ended up lowering the hell out of that shirt.
Yeah. So but you only got $5 in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah,
better than nothing.
Yeah. So Brian says, "Wow." I think he's talking about the stuff that we sold. The biggest flips.
Yeah.
And our boy Z Link says there's a national thrift at Kiel in Lawrence area.
Oh, nice.
So
okay.
I'm not too sure where that is. I think you may
a little walk from me. Probably about I'd say half an hour from me.
Yeah. Okay.
On the west side.
Okay. Cool. Ford Hustler says favorite grocery store dessert. That's interesting. Great question. I like these questions that are coming through in the chat, guys. Let us know if you want to. Other questions, other random questions like that. I like it. What's your favorite grocery store dessert, Chris?
We just synchronized our drink together.
I know. What do you drink? Are you drinking coffee?
No, I'm drinking tea.
Tea? Okay.
Yeah, I've had this bad cough going on. So.
Yeah. Oh. Might be allergies.
Oh gosh, I hope not. Favorite grocery store dessert? I don't know. Yeah. I'm gonna say not ice cream. No, I don't know. Like,
you don't like ice cream?
No, I do, but like, I wouldn't say it's my go-to. Man, I don't know. Like, I guess I have a bunch. Like, I like cakes.
Yes,
I'm a fan of cake.
Mm-hmm. I know my wife and I are a big fan of cheesecake.
Oh yeah.
So we really like to go to Publix and we like to get a cheesecake there. We usually drink it with we eat it with maybe some coffee, or they like I don't know if you drink beer or not, Chris, but we like this. There's a Java Porter style beer. Different people make a Java Porter, which they brew the beer with coffee beans. So if you actually drink, it's kind of like you can't have too many of them, but just because it's more of like it's kind of like a dessert kind of beer. It's like a coffee beer. So if you have it with the cheesecake or something sweet, it's like fantastic. It's so good. It's fantastic. So that would be my favorite dessert: a nice cheesecake and a good Java beer. So
that actually sounds good.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Java beer.
So Dustin's in the chat. Dustin says, "What's up?"
Hey, Dustin.
Wolfpack Sting.
Wolfpack.
With the Wolfpack emoji. So Ford Hustler says both of y'all. So that answers our question. And the Swamp Picker is in the chat. I appreciate you, Swamp Picker. Glenn, he is one of the gentlemen that we got to meet this weekend at the Nashville reseller meetup, Chris. Swamp Picker is actually from Louisiana. So he made the trip up to Nashville to hang out with everybody. He said he just got home 10 minutes ago. So he actually drove And then a couple people actually flew into Nashville, and then they rented a van and drove back because they would purchase stuff to resell here, and they loaded up their rental cars, and go back. So
did they go to Gimme Five?
Some of them did. They didn't come with me, but they hit it. I know we had the flea market that weekend, the big Nashville flea market, which is a good place, and they hit up different garage sales, estate sales, and thrift stores. So I think everyone did pretty good, and it was good meeting everybody and kind of getting different knowledge of people that are a lot older than us that do it full time. So I love learning. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah, so Ezekiel says, I started a thrift shop on Instagram. What is the best way to attract people to check out the page and potentially get people to purchase? That's a great question.
Yeah, it is.
Do you wanna put in your 2 cents on that, Chris? Do you have any experience funneling in people on your Instagram page?
I would say, obviously, you don't want to inundate people with things that you're posting of just items, but it's from other like people that I have on my Instagram account that do sell on Instagram. I mean, probably if you're gonna post them as like a regular photo, I would say include hashtags, just so that you can get attention to the item with people that are looking for those specific hashtags. But I'm not too familiar with like how you should like really sell them. It's really based on what I'm seeing and how they're like my other account friends are doing it on Instagram.
Yeah, I know that that's just from kind of like hearing different things. If you want to traffic more people to your Instagram, and I don't know if there's a difference between a personal and a business Instagram. So I think you might, if you don't have a business Instagram, that might be something that you want to do, just only because I think from there, I think you can actually buy ads through Instagram.
Oh.
So you can promote your page. Like my sister actually is a hairstylist, and I think she has a business Instagram to where she, like, sometimes when I'm scrolling down or looking through my story, you see like an ad in your story. So it's like they kind of like put that ad in there, so it kind of draws people to your Instagram page. And I would also do hashtags, hashtags, and clicking. I know that I've gotten just from promoting the YouTube channel just on my Instagram, I would go, whenever we have a new video out and, post a thumbnail or whatever, and just put like hashtag eBay, hashtag eBay seller, eBay flipper, click on the hashtag and see what other people are doing it, and just comment on their pictures. And it's like, hey, great find, where'd you find this, whatever. And just out of that, I've gotten a lot more followers. And I think followers and people to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Right.
So I think that way would be a good way to attract different people to your Instagram page. So keep that in mind. So Swan Picker says, great meeting y'all. Yeah, Glenn, fantastic meeting you. And just, I wish we could met, kind of got a chance to meet more people. I know that you guys are staying in a hotel, and, I live here. So maybe next time we can all get together a little better. So yeah, great meeting you, Glenn. And Glenn also says, the bins were killer. Give me 5 Goodwills and the garage sales. So Glenn actually went down to. We have a Goodwill Bins down in Berry Hill, which is a little bit south of Nashville. Okay. And when you go to the bins, I think they charge per pound. Dustin and I haven't been to the bins yet, but we're planning on going there very soon.
Nice.
So I know Martin and Christina just got back from the bins and just seen all the cool stuff that they found. It's just gonna be worth it. It's not too far from where we are, so it would be a good video for us to do.
I don't think they have any bins in Canada, or that I know of at least. If they are, I'm pretty sure I would have gone already.
Yeah, and Lonnie, one of our other Nashville resellers, she was saying that there's 2 Goodwills where the bins are, and one of the Goodwills is like a regular store, and then the other one is like the bin store.
Mhm.
Well, they said that they don't have enough people working in the Goodwill's portion, like the actual store.
Right.
So they end up moving the people to the bin store just because it's busier.
Mhm.
So they don't have time to kind of merchandise everything. So they just throw all the good stuff to the bins. So
Really?
most of the time you'll find really good stuff in the bins. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
So we'll see once we get down there. So DIY packaging idea says, out of all the online retail platforms to sell on, why choose eBay? Great question, because that actually is another segue to my next question. Is what is your what made you choose eBay, and do you sell on other platforms, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. So my main reason for choosing eBay is just because of the market that is out there for eBay. eBay is so huge and established already that it's pretty much like almost around the world already. Whereas if you go to like a Facebook Marketplace, I think it's a bit limited to like where the locations are. Whereas eBay is pretty much around the world.
Yeah, I would agree on that. Just from personal experience with Dustin and I know that we haven't really dabbled with sending anything into Amazon. I know there's a lot of restrictions into what you can sell on Amazon.
Yeah.
So I think for someone that's just getting started reselling, eBay would be a great place to get started, just because I feel like it's very seller friendly. Granted, they can bring down their costs and all that good stuff. Just like anybody likes to do. We would want to make more money and not pay that 10% eBay fee off of everything that we sell. But I know there is other platforms like Poshmark. Mercari is the newest one that's out there, and Dustin actually he's been doing a lot of research on Mercari, and he's one of the things that we Mercari is a Japanese-owned company, right?
Okay.
So one of the things that we kept when we were doing the research and Dustin was doing the research is that everything is pretty hunky dory in Mercari, and they just charge 20%, but that includes shipping costs, right? It's like a flat rate shipping cost no matter where it's going, but they take 20%, and then the way that you get paid is actually it goes into like this account. This Mercari account, not like a PayPal account, but a Mercari account.
Mhm.
And they, you can request to transfer your money from the Mercari account to your bank account, but it takes anywhere from 5 to 7 business days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you can choose to have it immediately, but I think they take an additional 5% off of what you're transferring over, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. But I think, that's one of the, I think that's kind of, if somebody wants to make their money quickly or get paid quickly, it may not be the best way to do it. And then I've heard horror stories of Mercari's customer service, because there isn't a number to where you can actually call. Everything is through chat and email. So if anybody has sold on Mercari, let us know. And I know that Chris and we both sell on eBay just because, like he said, I feel like it's the most seller-friendly of all the platforms currently. I know whenever I had an issue with anything that I've sold on eBay or a customer had an issue, I would just pick up the phone and call. And they're really awesome that you actually get somebody on the phone. They can speak English and they can, communicate with you. So, yeah. So what do you think, Chris?
So, no, I completely agree with you. There are also other outlets in Canada as well.
Yeah, tell us about those.
Other than eBay. So like there's Facebook Marketplace, obviously, but then there's also online, not specifically online, but there's an app called Garage Sale that we have.
Garage sale. I think we have that as well. Garage sale. Yeah.
So it's like local. You join a specific community, and a lot of people just sell their things on there too. It's very simplified. No fees, obviously, so that's a good thing too. And then it's basically their local meetups or like a pickup for the item. And then there's Kijiji as well, which is like I think they're part owned by eBay, I think too.
Kijiji?
Yeah, it's called Kijiji.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
So it's like a Craigslist.
Okay, cool.
And so we don't really use Craigslist as much in Ontario specifically, but we generally use Kijiji for like ads and even selling things too.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, let's get. I think Dustin has a interesting question in the chat. So he says, "Gotta ask, what was everyone's reaction in Toronto when Kawhi, the Thanos of the NBA, who brought balance to the NBA, decided to leave the Raptors and go to the Clippers?"
Okay, so I'm sure everyone in Toronto was upset, but for me specifically, like I already knew to begin with, like what we were getting into, like in the beginning of the season when we picked up Kawhi. So we knew there was a chance that he was going to be going anyway. So I accepted that, and it was just an added bonus that we ended up winning the championship too.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the Titans are here. If I knew that one player was going to come in for us, win the championship, and leave the next season,
yeah,
I'm okay with that. Like, the whole team could leave as long as we got that championship.
Don't get me wrong. I wish he stayed, but I mean, it is what it is. He wanted to go home.
Yeah.
But I'm happy we got a championship.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And we actually, our other brother-in-law, Tim, he found a retro Toronto Raptors Vince Carter jersey yesterday at Give Me Five.
No way.
Yeah, dude, it's legit. So that'll be that's going to be posted later down the road, of our finds. So yeah, Ford Hustler has an interesting question here, Chris. I wonder if you can ask that because I am not currently a father. But he says, "How do I be a good father? How do I be a good father?
Oh gosh,
when the time comes?" You may be saying how. So maybe you want to answer that. How old is your little girl, Chris?
She just turned 4.
4. Okay.
Yeah, so she's starting kindergarten in like a couple weeks or next week.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's a good tip?
First off, try to take the majority of the work away from your wife. Try to be the one that, like, for me, it was all a learning experience. Obviously, it was my first child, but just appreciate that, like you made that human, and they're gonna eventually grow up, and they're gonna call you daddy, and they're gonna draw pictures for you. It's the best feeling in the world, seriously. And like they give you hugs, like it's that unconditional love that they give you. It's the best feeling.
That's awesome. You're making me get emotional. Maybe Dustin can attest to that too. Dustin just had a child. He's 11 months, fixing to be a year old, little Michael Ray. So maybe he can put in his 2 cents on how to be a good father. So for it Hustler, if you ever a father, so Chris and I can be the godparents. So remember that. So Scott said, haven't been to the Goodwill bins either. Make sure you let me know when you go. Yes, Scott, we'll surely let you know when we go so we can all go together and get all the great stuff. So Swamp Picker says, used gloves, didn't have any. I think he may be talking about him going to the bins and not using any gloves when you're in the bins. That's rule number 1, Glenn. Got to bring gloves. You hear bins, you got to get the gloves, my friend. So Eat, Sleep, Amazon. Tiffany says, hey, guys, how are you? Got a lot of stars there. I think, Tiffany, were you on Pat D's late night show the other week? I think you were. So let us know. Pat D's is another reseller that I met over the weekend, and I don't know where he's from. I don't know, Glenn. Glenn, if you know where he's from, let me know. But he does kind of like late night kind of show where different resellers jump on a live stream and they just kind of talk about different things, which is pretty cool. So let me know, Tiffany, if you were on one of his shows in the past. So Brian says, bless you. Have any one of you guys sell on Amazon FBA, and do you also sell on Facebook Marketplace?
So I'll start first.
Yeah.
I have not yet started selling on Amazon, but I have made a goal for myself to start this September, um, to just start learning and trying to uh, get items so I can uh, get it sent to Amazon. So that's one thing I'm hoping to do, and hopefully you guys can see what I'm gonna do with and what I'm selling on Amazon that month. And in terms of Facebook Marketplace, yeah, I've been on Facebook Marketplace for a while now. I sell a lot of video games and mugs on Facebook Marketplace.
That's a good place to sell video
Yeah.
games. Yeah, that's great. I know that personally, I don't sell on Amazon, and I don't sell on Facebook Marketplace, which I probably need to start doing that. The only thing is that I don't want to have to meet everybody everywhere on Facebook, unless you have some sort of system or whatever. I don't know what kind of system that you have, Chris, but I know my time is very, I'm always doing something. So for me to meet somebody at a particular time and place to sell them something, and then I'll end up showing, it's just, I get really irritated.
Yeah, no, I mainly do porch pickup. So if they want the item, they can pick it up at my place. I'll leave a bag out, and it'll have the item, and then they can just pick it up and they put the money in my mailbox.
Oh wow! Talk about the honor system there, Chris.
No, it is. It's a big honor system. Luckily, we haven't had any casualties yet, though.
Yeah, that's great. I know that I like to buy stuff from Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
This just I think Thursday or Wednesday or Friday. I think it might have been even Friday. I can't remember. This lady was just giving away four Guitar Hero guitars.
Oh wow!
She was just gonna go throw them away. The ones with the detachable neck.
Yeah.
So I ended up. It was just like right down, maybe like 5 minutes away from my job. Yeah, there you go. So that's awesome. What do you play Guitar Hero
on? The Wii.
The Wii.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is yours? I have a Rock Band Beatles game. If you want it for the Wii.
That's the only game I play.
That's the only one that you play? Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I downloaded all the downloadable content for that one.
Yeah.
That was the only one that I was willing to get all that stuff for.
Yeah. Great. I love how it's on that game. It's like from the early Beatles to like the late Beatles.
Yeah.
Like how they're like the way that they, like they are and stuff. So Z-Link says, do you know a place where eBay or Facebook Market place to sell Transformers? Toraka, Tommy, third party, a group perhaps? Not too sure what Toraka Tomy is. You know what that is, Chris?
I'm not, unless that's the brand.
Yeah.
Maker.
Do you have a collection of Transformers?
I used to. Gosh, I haven't collected in a while. I actually collected. The show Beast Wars?
Yeah, man. Heck yeah. That was my show.
That was the best show. And
yeah, Optimus Primal and Megatron was just called Megatron on there, right?
Yeah, he was just Megatron. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But he was a dinosaur. Yeah. So Z-Link, I would say that I would try maybe if you have any kind of comic book stores or collectible stores, places like that may buy toys. I would probably go on there to see how much they give you for your toys if you want cash. If not, I would try a Facebook Marketplace or maybe some groups on there. And if not, eBay would be the last resort. And then if it's something that's really valuable, probably need to go straight to eBay. Just because there will be more eyeballs and more people looking to complete the collection on certain things. So Dustin Johnson, my man Dustin says for sure Scott. Swamp Picker says we have garage sale, so garage sale.
Nice.
He says what's up to Tiffany? Tiffany says what's up to Glenn? And then Brian says I sell items on Mercari. Mercari takes 10% fee and prepaid labels are shipped to the package yourself. Okay, he takes 10%. Is it 10%? I thought it was 20. So my mistake. I may want to look into that. Brian, could you let us know a little bit more about Mercari? just tell us the overall process and how long you've been selling on there, and if it's what are some of the pros and cons on there. I think that would be good. So Dustin says, great live video, fellas. I got to bounce and prepare myself for my money league fantasy football draft here in 15 minutes. I clear my mind and draft the best team. Wish me luck. Good luck, my friend. Make sure you don't draft Andrew Luck. All right?
He's a sleeper.
Yeah. That's funny. So Swampbaker says that we had 8 people in our room doing the show. I think he's talking about Pat D's live show yesterday. That's,
wow.
I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah.
So because they were all staying at the same hotel, and I think he says he's from PA. Is he from? I think I did talk to him for a little bit. He's from Scranton, PA, where the office. They filmed it. Well, I'm not sure if they filmed there, but the office is based out of Scranton, Pennsylvania. The show, The Office.
Yeah.
One of my favorite shows. They come to my work. Not too sure what that means, but
when I guess how I did the porch pickups. Probably saying that they need him out of work.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So Scott McFarlane says guitar and bundle games sell very well on Amazon for the Rock Band. I know I got a Rock Band Beatles set too for the Wii, and just the little Beatles, what'd you call it? The thing that goes on the drums, like to make it look like it's like the bass drum or whatever. Yeah, that thing is like $29.
Wow.
Itself. Yeah. So I've been slacking, posting all a bunch of Rock Band guitars and stuff.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do that this week. So Z-Link says Tarka Tommy is the brand. So I think, are those the die-cast Transformers?
Maybe.
I think so. Yeah, I know that some of those are really expensive. I know my brother-in-law, Tim, we went to this other place called Bargain Hunt, and he found this statue of Rocksteady from Ninja Turtles, from the movie. And it was he got a great price on it. It was $30, but on eBay it was sold for like $150. So I don't know if he ended up deciding to keep it or resell it. So,
what?
Go ahead.
Because I know he's trying to look for places to sell. What I'm probably going to do is I'll send you an invite to some of these reseller community groups, because probably they may know more about toys as well as or like maybe even other community groups that are just specifically for toys that may be able to sell it. But I'll send you the link for one of them when I'm off.
Oh wow! I just did a quick little Amazon or a quick little Google search for the brand of those Transformers, and some of them were over $100.
Oh wow!
So yeah, so those would be, if you got a good price on those, that would be great. Great to do. Soulpicker says, I got a Logitech Guitar Hero wooden guitar.
Whoa!
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know Logitech even made Guitar Hero stuff.
Let alone a wooden one.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if you get better sound coming out of a wooden guitar into a Rock Band. I have one of my best friends, Emma. Her father actually worked for Gibson Guitars for a really long time here in Nashville, and now he's working for an independent guitar seller, and all he does is sells guitars to big time celebrities. Big time. Like he has a picture with like Post Malone like coming in there and like buying guitars, and they like text like back and forth like just guitar stuff, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Because he's like older and not the kind of guy that would kind of listen to Post Malone.
Yeah.
So it's really funny. So Ford Hustler says, what do you want your eBay hustle to look like in 5 years, Chris and Ray? That's a great question. Let's save that question till the end there, Chris, because that's actually my last question in this interview. So let's go back. Brian's question says, I have been selling for about 2 years on Mercari. The first year was great, sold video games, phone cases, and sports gear. The second year, Mercari changed their shipping rate and policy. Did they change it for better or did they change it for worse? Let us know, Brian. we're curious. So I'm gonna go back to the questions here, Chris, because we got a couple more questions, and I'm sure other questions in the live chat will come through. But what we talked about your biggest flip, were those Oakley sunglasses, and what was your biggest bust, my friend? What was something that you bought that you thought you were going to make money off of, and you absolutely didn't make any money off of, or you spent too much money buying it, and then ended up losing money after you shipped it off, and you're like, man, I don't know about this eBay stuff,
Yeah. I mean, luckily there hasn't been, I'd say, too many. One probably would have been, I mentioned probably, I think I had a, no, I think the most expensive.
Or just not the most expensive. Like, what's your biggest bust? Something that you thought you were going to make money off of, and you ended up not making doing the math right, or you're like, man, I don't know about this.
What do I have? I'm gonna say it's a video game actually. I bought a bunch of Wii games, and surprisingly, not all of them sold. There was only maybe like 3 or 4 sold out of them. I made my money back out of buying them. But I still have. I think it was like 10 Wii games, and I bought them all for $50.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
not bad.
So 3 of them were Mario games. So those ones obviously sold out. But the rest of them were all like not very good games.
Yeah, kind of hard to get rid of.
Yeah. So I'm still sitting on those until now, and it's been about a couple months now.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't sound too bad if that was your biggest bust. It looks like you made your money back on the games. You're just sitting on them, So that's not too bad. You did pretty good. Yeah. So that kind of segues into my next question is that what are some mistakes that you've made, reselling on eBay? And what is something that you learned from those mistakes?
I would say the one thing I'd say I really learned is probably from shipping. Just because the way Canadian shipping is atrocious.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
So we obviously we use Canada Post here, and it's not the greatest. I mean, obviously in terms of like sending it and stuff, it's okay, but like just the pricing of postage is what I mean. It's so expensive. Trying to sell overseas to like internationally or within Canada is still pretty expensive. Like sending a regular shoe is gonna cost you like $20 to send it off to like BC out in the west, like the furthest western province. So it's pretty ridiculous. So luckily there are alternatives now. One of the videos I have is like letting you know that there are alternatives other than Canada Post.
Yeah.
And so basically one is called Chit Chats, and it allows you to use USPS as an option if you want to sell to like people in the US. So I get the postage with the USPS pricing as opposed to paying Canada Post pricing, because I can send a shirt now for like $5 all the way to someone in California, as opposed to paying probably would have been $25 to $30 using Canada Post.
Wow, that's a game changer.
Yeah, it is. So I incorporate that now into my the way I sell clothing mostly, even hard goods too, because normally when you choose an option in eBay when you're going to choose international, the only real decent price one is track packet Canada Post, and the pricing is like $30-$40 for like a 5 by 5 by 5 box.
Yeah,
and it's pretty ridiculous. So I know for a fact when I send those, it's going to cost me about $750 Canadian to send that off in the US. So what I do is I actually put a set price as opposed to what the varied price is. So I'll automatically put $7.50 or $8 as my price and ship it in.
Yeah.
So people in the U.S. will actually see, oh, okay, it's not bad, and it's coming from Canada too. So
Yeah.
it's getting an arm and a leg to pay that shipping. So luckily, I know that now to incorporate that into my pricing, and that's what I feel that's increased my sales because I'm doing that.
Yeah. That's great. That again, I think that's an absolute game changer.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. That's great that you made, just like I think we've all made mistakes with postage.
Yeah.
Just knowing how to get around that with not using, would you say Canadian Post,
Yeah, Canada Post.
Canada Post, and using those other platforms. How was it that you found those other platforms to ship your stuff off?
There was one person I usually message on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually just asked because I think her name is Outdoor Girl Barbecue, or no,
Mm-hmm.
BBQ, sorry, not barbecue. But I noticed when she posts things, a lot of her sales, the majority of them were in the U.S. and she's a Canadian reseller. I messaged her and saying, like, what are you doing to get all these U.S. sales? Because I've probably only gotten one sale in the U.S. and the rest are all Canadian. And she told me about these other companies. And so, like, just when you have all these other resellers, like in your Instagram or in your Facebook, or just watching on YouTube too, it helps because
Yeah.
you're learning a lot more things. And if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't. I would have a hard time like putting my prices very competitively.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. I love that you came to an obstacle and you're eBay selling and you were like, man, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And so you did a little bit of research. You're in a community of resellers and you reached out. And the cool thing about the resellers is that we always like to help other resellers if they reach out to us. We're not selfish that way. And she was more than happy to let you know about those other shipping methods.
Yeah.
So I think, do you think that because of that, your sales have increased?
Oh, significantly.
Yeah, that's awesome. Bless you.
Thank you.
So it's Zeke or Zed. He has a question. He says, "How do you separate items you like, which will potentially make you money, to your wants? For example, a pair of shoes that are hyped to sell and keep for your collection."
Good question. I've come to a point where I really don't care about like wanting things anymore.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I don't really feel like I need to have these items. I just watching all especially like Gary Vee videos, just being a minimalist and not wanting to have to like just really desire these items. It's really helped me and like just changed my whole mindset. It's not something I don't really need. Like
Yeah.
I'll have a couple things, but other than that, like that's all I really need. I don't need my pair of shoes. I've had the same pair of shoes for like 5 years. I don't really buy shoes. Um, and then yeah, it's something where I don't have that mentality to want them.
Yeah. I think with me, I think I used to be that person that's like, if I want it, I'm going to get it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But it's like one of those things, and like now, it's like you said, it's like, what is it that you need? Not necessarily what you want. But if you really want it and if you have the means to get it, by all means, like, do if that's what makes you happy.
Yeah.
But I think with us, it's like, I don't think that's what makes us happy anymore, And I know that you were saying, what are some of the things that to keep and what stuff that makes you money? These headphones, I actually have, they're Bose headphones. They're like the quiet ones with the noise canceling. I actually found it, give me 5 for $5. And actually, I was gonna sell them, because I was like, man, they're like $200 headphones, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like sitting there fixing to post them, and my wife's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I'm debating if I should keep these headphones or not."
Yeah.
She's like, "It's like, well, what's the debate?" And I was like, "I'm never gonna buy $200 headphones in my life." So it's like, but I would buy $5 headphones. So so it's like I managed to keep them just because I needed headphones, and I would rather have the headphones than the $200 or go down the line spending $200 on headphones.
Yeah.
So I think it comes down to it's like what are some of the things that you want and some of the things that you need.
Yeah.
So if it's something that you need and you can keep, of course, but if it's something that you really want and need, then I would say definitely keep it. If it falls into that category, if you want it, if you need it, I say keep it. So yeah. So Ford Hustler says, "Wow, that was deep." I think he was talking about how to be a good father when you said how to be a good father. And Ford Hustler also says, these are great questions. Ford Hustler, he says, "How do you know if she's the one?" So I don't know if you have a girlfriend or not, Ford Hustler, but you just know, man. You just know.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chris?
If she lets you part in front of her, I'd say keep her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to do that maybe a little bit, maybe like on the 4th or 5th date.
Yeah.
Just in case.
That's
yeah. So Daniel Martin says, "What's up, fam?
What's
Good
up,
to see you, Daniel. Good to see you, my friend." Daniel Martin always. He also says, "Great question. I keep the items I like and know I can resell in the future after I get some use out of them." Yeah, that is true. I know that. Anything in quality is always going to resell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why like game systems, like Nintendo. If you buy like Nintendo Switch and you keep your box, it's like minty fresh, and you keep all everything. Down the line, you're going to be able to at least make your money off of it.
Yeah.
Like earlier when I was younger, I used to collect sneakers, and I sold a lot of them way back in the day, and made a ton of money just because they were like old and they didn't come out anymore or anything else. I still have tons of them that I need to resell. So I might do a video on that once I get the opportunity to do so. So, I mean, I got shoes from like 1997,
Wow.
that I've gotten over the years, and just like different, the shoes like disintegrating, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's still value in that shoe.
Yeah.
So just like anything, like Daniel was saying, it's almost like the items that we find, they're almost like stocks. It's like, I guess it's kind of like, maybe that's why people buy like Rolex watches, because they know they can make money off of them down the line. They keep their value. You always want to buy something that keeps its value.
Yeah.
So Daniel Martin says, "Great find and keep. Headphones are essential as well as, especially for YouTube listening, to music while listening, etc." So yeah, I really don't listen to a lot of music when I'm listening. I just kind of like, put on a podcast or something, and I'll just play it through my phone, or I'll have someone's YouTube. That's kind of like when I like watching all my friends' YouTube videos. Yeah. So Daniel Martin says, LMAO, that is a valid statement. Farts equals keepers.
Heck yes.
So that's funny. And DIY Packaging Idea says, styled by Can D. I'm guessing your name is Can, right? Let us know. Have you ever fallen below standard on eBay? If so, how did you deal with it? It's a great question.
Yeah.
I have never fallen below standard on eBay. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, no, I haven't either. Luckily, I always manage to follow up on any type of question people contact me with, as well as if there's any problems with the item. Shipping, I just make sure I contact them as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So that they can make sure that they're communicated with, and then they give you a good review after.
Yeah. And I think it's so easy nowadays to do that, just because we have it on our smartphone and we can just easily just reply back to everybody.
Yeah.
Any time of the day. I think one of the things that falling below standard would be maybe shipping. You may be shipping something late, or something like that. And I know that I have my shipping set to like 4 business days, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But I don't wait. I usually ship it out in 2 business days.
Okay.
Just so like when the buyer receives the item, they're expecting it to be later than it is. Mm-hmm. So when they receive it, they say, "Wow, I got this way sooner than was supposed to." So that usually leaves a pretty good feedback.
No, I set mine to 2 business days.
Yeah, I like to get everything out in 2 business days. I got it set to 4, but 2 business days is when I like to set everything up. So Janet Martin says, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years with reselling? What is your ultimate goal with reselling? Same question that Ford Hustler asked. So we're actually that's going to be the last question of the interview. So stay tuned. We got a couple more questions. We just got over the biggest bust, and DIY Packaging just asked about below standard, and actually that's a good. I keep saying this, but a good segue to our next question is what has been your worst customer experience? And I think I know what you're fixing to say.
Yeah.
I think it may deal with a little an Apple product that you sold in the past.
You're correct, sir.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. It was my first sale too. So,
oh wow. Talk about yanking the training wheels right off the bat, right?
Yeah, I know. So I just right off the bat, I experienced all this stuff. So I had an Apple TV 2nd gen for sale. It was mine personally, and ended up selling it for like I think it was like 30 bucks. And the problem, like I tried disclosing as much as I could on the item. Maybe gave them a new HDMI cable in the package. They gave them pretty good stuff, and I put a lot of pictures too. And I even put it like turning it on. Like I took a picture of my TV, showing that it worked. And and so after I sent it out, I got a reply back from within a week saying that hey, Apple TV doesn't have YouTube on it. I wanted to use it for YouTube, and it's not there. So what can you do for me? So, I mean, being the customer service guy I am, I tried to actually like Google what can you do to try to get YouTube on Apple TV. Excuse me, sorry. This cough is horrible. But I tried looking to see what is available. Unfortunately, they got rid of YouTube on the Apple 2nd gen, on the Apple TV 2nd gen. So I couldn't really do much other than if you jailbreak that Apple TV, you can probably get it. But other than that, you can maybe screen share or like onto your TV using the mirror. Is that what it's called? I think.
I think it's called like the mirror, Apple Mirror or something like that. It's on the iPhones.
So I gave those options to the guy. He's like, no, I have a whole bunch of other Apple TVs. I only wanted it for YouTube, so like I want to return it, or else I just want my money back. And then I just mentioned that like I didn't know you wanted to use YouTube for it. Like how would I have known you wanted to use it for? I didn't say it that way, but like I just said I couldn't. I don't know what else I can do like with that because I tried to disclose as much as I could. So like not trying to be mean, but like I'm just saying like you're out of luck, bud.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, man. It's weird that wouldn't even have YouTube on it. But he should have did the research beforehand.
Yeah.
And knew that didn't have any kind of YouTube on there, and it wasn't your fault at all.
Yeah.
It's just something that Apple, for some reason didn't have it on there, which is super dumb.
Exactly.
So so you live and learn, right? So that's a good way to get your feet wet. They threw you into the deep end.
Yeah.
With your first ever customer experience, did they leave any kind of negative feedback or anything like that after that? They did.
The next month they did, even though he told me that he wasn't going to. He ended up sending, still giving negative feedback.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
You have it still on your account, or were you able to take it off?
I managed to get it taken off.
Oh, that's awesome.
So like I covered my bases. Like I disclosed it as best as I could, and they were willing to remove it from my feedback.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great. I know Ford Hustler said, "LOL, I know this answer."
Yeah.
So that's funny. So we'll get to the next question, and then we'll get to the last question, Chris. I know because we've already been here for an hour, and we appreciate everybody being on here. We value everyone's time, and we thank you so much for coming on this live stream with Chris. And we just want to – the next question, Chris, is for someone that may be on the chat or maybe seeing this later on the later video on our channel, the Nashville Flippers, is what's some advice that you can give to somebody that is first starting off reselling? it looks like pretty much you're in the same boat to where it's like you wanted to do it, you jumped in the deep end, it got hard, you got your first negative feedback right off the bat.
Yeah.
You had issues with postage. You had a lot of obstacles in your way, but it looks like you're doing great now. You're getting some great sales, and it looks like you've gone through a lot doing this. And what's some advice that you can give people that may be discouraged or they just want to, start selling?
Yeah. So obviously, like you don't expect those type of things to happen, but I understood going into it. It is something that would be part of the business. But my advice to someone that wants to start this is um, set a set a set of certain goals that you want to accomplish with doing this first. Like, are you doing this to make money? How much do you want to make? What do you want to sell? And it's like how long do you plan on doing this? And also how much work, how many hours are you going to put into it? Are you going to do it full time or part time? Have that type of mindset, just so that when you're getting into it, you're going to be fully prepared with um, the other things like listing and taking pictures. That's an easy thing. It's just
Yeah.
understanding what you want to get into in the very beginning is the main thing. So for me specifically, I started with my video games, for example, because I wanted to. I knew the most about that, and so I tried to, like, the ones that I wanted to sell. I tried selling those first, and then also just learning on YouTube too has been helping me too. If you ever want to find tips, whether
For
it is
sure.
selling shipping in Canada or in the US or internationally, there's so much resource out there for you to try to learn all these things. Like, what are the top things that are selling for you, or for anyone specifically? What are the top clothing items, toys, electronics? When you learn what these things are, you're going to be able to find yourself in a place where you're going to be in a good place, that you're going to be selling and making money. Um, it just all depends on how much work you're going to put into it.
For sure. Just like anything that you do, you take out what you put in.
Exactly.
Mhm. So yeah, that's some great advice, Chris, which is perfect word of the day. Segue to the next question, which two people have asked this question, similar questions as Ford Hustler says, where do you see your eBay hustle in 5 years? And Daniel Martin says, what was it here? Did I miss it? Oh, I keep going down. It says, where do you see your eBay business in 10 years? And what are your ultimate goals?
Yeah,
So, yeah, 10 years. I mean, we'll be in our 40s, man. So yeah, and damn, this is funny. I'm gonna just show this right quick. Daniel Martin says, "Screw him." He's talking about the Apple TV guy.
Oh, the guy, yeah.
So yeah, forget that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah. So where do you see yourself, your eBay business in 10 years? Your little girl is gonna be 15 years old.
Wow.
She's probably asking her daddy, "Daddy, I want that new Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon that I keep seeing on the TV."
Want that iPhone 20?
On the iPhone 20,
Yeah.
10 years from now, where do you see your eBay business going, Chris?
I mean, obviously, I hope to be full-time eventually, but I hope to have at least, my goal is to have at least over 1,000 listings. If I really want to do this and make it my full-time thing. And I hope to have an average sale price of at least $50 or more for all my listings.
Oh, wow. That's intense.
Yeah.
That's some good items.
Yeah. So hopefully it's a little, I guess, jumping the gun, but I mean, I feel like when you're living in Canada, you have to have a larger margin of profit just because everything's so expensive here.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So it's just something that I want to make sure that that's what I'm starting to scale my items now to do. Like right now, or before, like when I first started, I was selling things for like $2.99, $3.99, and like obviously they were free, but like that just wasn't making enough for me. So
yeah, it's not worth your time.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been scaling some of my items now. where they're at least between $15 and $25, or at least $15 and up of profit net.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's I like to make at least $20 net
Yeah,
on anything that I sell. I think that's worth my time. Unless I get something for free or something like that.
exactly. Like some of these, I have some video games, um, but they're popular ones. So I know I'd probably get about $15 for them, but I know they're gonna sell. So I just picked some up that were brand new steel.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your goals for your eBay business is that you want 1,000 listings.
Yeah.
You want all your items to be profitable over $50 a piece.
Yes.
Right, and anything else in there for your eBay business in the next 10 years? Chris?
I, you know what, like I just want to just be the best that I can possibly be in my, like doing this. Like it's something that when you start doing it, it's just something that you want to keep doing, because when you're putting the work in yourself, you know it's worth it.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you have a little one at home that's depending on you. I think that's a pretty good incentive to keep going. As Daniel Martin says, that's awesome. You can do it. I know that those are great goals for your eBay business, and I want to take this question a little more in depth. Is what do you see your eBay business? What's your goal that you want your eBay business to help you in your everyday life?
Well, right now it's been helping me like go on trips and stuff, and like just go out to eat and stuff. That's what I've been mainly using that income for. I hope to do the same, but at the same time, I hope to also like just because there's literally only a handful of Canadian resellers that are on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of resellers, but I mean, on YouTube, I can probably count like maybe less than 10. And so to have that experience when you're like learning more and being able to share it to other Canadian resellers, it's a lot. I find it a lot more incentive to just try to be a better seller too. Just have that ability to also like provide as well.
For sure. Yeah, that's a great life goal that you can achieve just doing this reselling. And I appreciate you sharing that, Chris. I know that just real quick, I met so many people this weekend, and they're just kind of which is great that you want to be one of the bigger Canadian YouTube resellers. I think that's a great goal because that's going to bring a lot of knowledge and a lot of value into people that need that help in your area. Just the postage, the video that you did on the postage alone, I hope that helps a lot of people in Canada. And I got to meet a lot of really cool resellers at the Nashville meetup this weekend, and I met this lady. Her name was Dixie. She lives in Alabama, and she brought her 2 kids along with her. One was 15, and her daughter was I think she might have been maybe 13. Okay. And they do reselling together to a point to where they have 3 stores. Chris, listen to this. They have 3 stores. One has 1,000 items, one has 800 items, and one has 700 items in their store. Wow! And one of the goals that she wanted to achieve through the reselling is that she wanted to build a shed in her backyard to keep all of her stuff, just because she has so many items. Mm-hmm. So she's currently in the process of doing that, and eBay is paying for that, so she's debt-free on the shed. I think the only thing that she has to do now is put some sort of insulation in the shed and run the electric, and after that, it's done. And I think she said it's 1,900 square feet. Wow! So it's pretty big. So it's kind of like a warehouse. Yeah. So that's one of her goals, and I love that her children are also getting to do what she's doing, and just seeing the value of making $1 so early on, and knowing that you can make money online and not having to work at like the 15-year-old kid is making. He's making like $400 a week, and he's staying at home, you know.
That's amazing.
So could you imagine making $400 a week as a 15-year-old kid? I mean, that's awesome.
I wish I knew about it when I
Yeah.
was,
So like, by the time that he's our age, he's gonna probably be making six figures.
yeah.
You know. So yeah, I love hearing people's goals just because I feel like it encourages everybody to keep going. I know this community of resellers is absolutely awesome, and I know that we all help each other achieve our goals, and that's why I like to answer that question, just because you know, it kind of holds us accountable to our goals, and you know, we can always think of the goals in our head, but if we actually write them down or if we tell them to anybody, it kind of holds us accountable and kind of, you know, helps us achieve those goals a little easier.
For sure.
Because we work towards them. So back to the chat, Ford Hustler says, dang, high ticket item.
Yeah.
So he's talking about those $50 items. And then Daniel says, a little smaller profits as well. I aim for $10 and above. The smaller profits help pay the bills.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think that's kind of how I got started. I just kind of wanted to make sure just small bills were taken care of that came out of my, you know, my account, which was like Hulu, Netflix, you know, just things that come out like every month, the WWE network, things like that. So I noticed how easy it was to make money doing the reselling and just grew from there. So Ford Hustler also says, what does the future of reselling thrifting look like? It's a great question. And he also says, I will help. One of the most confusing things is shipping. Yeah. It is. So let's go into that's kind of a really broad question, and I don't think we know the answer to that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think any of us really know the answer to that. I know that I don't know if the bottom's going to drop out of it. I hope it doesn't, just because so many people are doing it, and I don't think it ever is, because we just, as people, we just buy stuff that we don't need.
Yeah.
You know, and people get rid of stuff that they don't need all the time. So I think there was always going to be a market, but I know eBay at first, I think they were trying to compete with Amazon, and now they're kind of just taking a little bit of approach not to necessarily compete with Amazon and do something different.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see eBay going away. I don't see Amazon ever going away. So Macari, I like to see what they were going to be in the next 5 years. Maybe they can be another competition for eBay and Amazon. You never know, or maybe something else will pop up, and I don't know. Maybe Disney will buy eBay one day. You never know.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, Chris? Where do you see the future for reselling and thrifting look like?
I actually think it's pretty good, because I mean, as long as you have younger people out there that are actually doing it, and if you have like people like a Gary Vee just preaching about reselling to all these younger people, like, I mean, it's gonna get them to want to do these types of things too.
Yeah.
Like I think it's pretty good for our future, and like it's like one of the best things too, because like you're at the same time you're making sure that like these types of things like reselling, it holds you accountable, and you want to have that entrepreneurial like spirit in your like just like living life, because you want to be able to just be the best you can possibly be and be happy too.
I agree. I know just by having dinner with all the different I keep saying this, the Nashville meetup, is that it's funny because I feel I was the youngest person there. I was 32 years old, and everyone else was maybe 10 years or more older than me. And it kind of made me excited and bummed out at the same time, because I know that like us on this live stream that I've met most of you guys on here, we're all kind of the same age, and we all like to do this stuff. But I feel like there's a little bit of a gap between the people that are doing it, like the people that I met yesterday, and then our age group. And I don't think there's any. I feel like more people our age need to do it. I know as millennials, we always get people always hate us because we want the easy way out. And maybe that's all it is. And maybe there's more opportunities for people like us, like you said, Chris, to have more of an entrepreneurial spirit, that are going to take initiative and keep doing it, and then they'll have people that don't necessarily want to put in the work, and that just it's just better for us. The people that really want to do the work and do better for us and do better for our families. So yeah, I think it looks good. I think the future looks good. So Daniel Martin also says, I know that Macy's and JCPenney's are gravitating to selling used clothing and use various online platforms, which is crazy.
Wow.
I do think that's crazy, for which I think that kind of is two things to where they see the retail space declining for those department stores, and they're seeing the online presence increasing.
Yeah.
So I don't know how, if they're selling, it says they're selling used clothing. So I don't know necessarily where they're getting the used clothing, unless it's just returns from JCPenney's and Amazon, or JCPenney's and Macy's. So I don't know if when they return something in those stores, I don't know where it goes, or if it just gets liquidated, or what happens. So what are your thoughts on JCPenney's and Macy's selling used clothing, Chris?
Well, first off, I wish they had them in Canada. They don't have them. We don't have a JCPenney or a Macy's at all. But having the ability to sell used clothes, I guess right now I think it's a bit early in the stage to try to figure out what they're trying to do still.
Yeah.
I think I want to see first how they're going to be selling the used clothing and what type of used clothing they're going to be selling. I wouldn't really look into it until they are actually doing it and see how they're presenting it to the customers.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. It's interesting to see where all these huge retailers are now pivoting and changing their business strategies. I know that Kohl's have been accepting Amazon returns in store, so I don't know what that looks like. Because my wife actually bought a laptop cover not too long ago, and she got the wrong size, so we took it to Kohl's, and then they shipped it off for us. So it's weird how that's working, and I guess they're hoping on us going into Kohl's and looking around and buying something, which is smart on their part.
Yeah.
So for hustlers, or Daniel Martin says, I believe reselling is the true entrepreneurship. I agree.
I agree.
And just like anything, it's like you see kids out in the streets trying to buy a box of candy bars for $20 and then flipping the candy bars for like $1. That's kind of like what we're doing, but in a larger or a 20th century scale. So Ford Hustler says, I used to work for JCPenney's, so that would be interesting to see. I agree. So yeah, and then Daniel Martin says, I agree. We all agree. You agree, I agree, we all agree. So yeah, guys, so that concludes our interview. Chris, I just want to say thank you for jumping on. I know we went a little long. I wanted to say it an hour, but we're just having some great conversation. So I appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate you coming on and doing this. And thank you for coming on and checking this out. Our first guest, you showed us love off the bat, so we just wanted to make sure to show you love. We appreciate that, one of our good reseller friends. And I appreciate all the people that stayed with us in the chat. So I appreciate you guys. Make sure you smash that like button. And thanks again, guys. Do you have anything else to say there, Chris? Any words of encouragement or anything like that you want to tell the people?
Yeah, no, just thanks so much for having me, Ray. Appreciate it. And guys, if you really want to do this and really want to make it a thing for yourself, I just say just do it. Don't wait on anything. Just keep learning, keep researching, and just do it. Because I honestly feel like if I didn't do it, I would have regretted it.
Yeah.
So, get right on it and crush it out there.
Yeah, for sure. Crush it. Go crush it, guys.
Yeah.
So, guys, my name is Chris. My name is Ray.
I'm Chris.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll catch you guys
on the flip side.
Yeah, there you go. All right. See you guys.
See you guys. Peace out.